and welcome back. In today's video I'll share how to make stewed beef. And the crazy thing about this recipe is that it's my first time making stewed beef and I've actually never had it before. So definitely leave me your recommendations and your suggestions in the comment box below and let me know how you make your stewed beef if you make it differently. What I did was I just used the same techniques I use in any stew recipe. So just like I stew any other meats like chicken, goat, or any other meats you want to stew, I just use the same techniques. So it actually turned out really good. I hope you enjoyed the recipe and remember to leave me your suggestions. Let me know how you make it. I really would love to hear more. Keep watching to see how I do it. Here are the ingredients for the stewed beef. First up, I have a few Bandhania or Chadon Beni leaves. I'm using a few Serrano peppers also instead of Pimento, and you can use any type of mild pepper that you can find if you can't find Serrano or Pimento. Some Habanero peppers, and you'll want to use Scotch Bonnet for more heat. I'm also using 2 red bird peppers, a small piece of ginger, garlic, and 1 large onion. A few sprigs of thyme, roucou or annatto, and to those of you outside of Trinidad and Tobago, you can find the annatto powder at any Latin American store. Some ketchup, and if you don't have roucou, you can also use ketchup in place of it. Soy sauce, and some brown sugar. And if I forget anything, I'll be sure to let you know. beef here, I washed it with some white vinegar and I just cut off any excess fat and skin. So now I'm gonna season it up. Gonna add some salt, and of course you add as much or as little salt as you want. Some black pepper. And this ingredient is optional. It's called roucou. Many Trinbagonians will know about this, but if you don't have access to it, you can always just use ketchup in place of it. And it is also used a lot in Spanish cooking. So you'll see it as annatto in the stores. You can find it in the whole form or in powdered form. And I also have some ketchup. So if you didn't have the annatto or the roucou, then you can just double the amount of ketchup. And I have some soy sauce. I love adding soy sauce to stew. It gives a nice color and also a lovely flavor as well. And of course I have the fresh green seasoning that I just blended. So now I'm adding in the peppers. So if you had pimento peppers, you can also use that. Because I didn't have the pimento peppers, I'm using the serrano and Thai chili peppers or bird peppers, and I'm using some habanero peppers. So I'm just adding everything in now. When I'm making stew, I usually don't chunky the aromatics. I just season the meat with it. So now all we do is give this a good mix. It's smelling like it's going on a real lash. And don't be like me and forget to add the ginger. So I'm just going to grate in some ginger. This is optional. I just like adding ginger to stews. So now that the meat is seasoned, now it's time to let it marinate. And if you don't have time, you can cook this right away. You can leave it for a few hours, or you can leave it overnight, which is best, because you want all that lovely green seasoning to be soaked up into the meat. So I'm just going to let this marinate for a few hours, and then I'll come back and we'll start cooking. So I'm using my heavy bottom cast iron pot, and I'm just going to add some oil. This is some avocado oil. You can use whatever type of oil you like to cook with. And because this gets really hot, I like to keep it on a medium heat. And now I actually have an electric stove, so I'm still learning to cook on electric. It's a little bit tough because it gets really hot and the food could burn easily, especially sugar. So I have it on a medium heat for now, and I'll just keep watching it. I'm adding the sugar in. So I feel like it needs a little bit more. So you want to go in with a dry spoon and just keep stirring, because you want the sugar to start caramelizing evenly. So comment below if you all have an electric stove, and tell me what was it like transitioning from a gas stove to an electric stove. So far Kevin burned bread. He was toasting bread and he burned it, and I burned sugar while I was stewing. So now I learned not to put the heat on too high, because I got so accustomed to using that gas stove. So the sugar is melting really quickly. So you can see it's starting to bubble up and change color. It's nearly at the stage that we want it to be. So this is good enough for me. I like to add it in at this point. So I'm just gonna add the seasoned meat. So now I'm turning the heat up to high because I want the meat to spring its natural juices and we want that to be reduced. So I'm gonna cover it now because I want to get that initial bubble started, and it's gonna help the meat to steam and to release all the juices. So I'll just leave it covered for a few minutes and then we'll check on it. So it's been about 10 minutes. Let's see what's going on under this lid. So as you can see, it let out a lot of liquid. Now I'm gonna leave the cover off because I want this first set of water to reduce. So it's been about 15 minutes, and as you can see, most of that liquid has reduced. It has a very thick sauce on the outside. So what I'm gonna do is add some hot water. I'm gonna fill the pot up with the hot water, and I'm just gonna let it bubble and cook and also create a nice sauce. So I'm just gonna cover it, let it come to a bubble, and then I'll come in and check on it in a few minutes. So the beef is nearly ready. It's been bubbling for about, I would say, half an hour. I filled the pot up with water so that it could cook properly. So now it's nearly ready. This amount of sauce is good enough because once I turn the heat off, it's going to continue cooking for a little bit and then the sauce is going to thicken up. So at this point, I'm going to add some chopped chive and some cilantro, or you can add some bandhania too. So it looks good here. All you want to do now is just taste it for salt, or if it needs any more seasonings or pepper or anything else. You make it to suit your taste. So now I'm gonna turn the heat off. This sauce is good for me. I want a lot of sauce because this is what they're gonna eat the provisions and the dumpling with. So they're gonna just drizzle that sauce over the provision and the dumpling, and it's still gonna cook with the residual heat. So this sauce is just enough, and it is gonna get a little bit thicker as it continues to cook. So the stewed beef is ready. It has a lovely dark golden brown color. And you can serve it with some rice, roti, or today I'm serving it with that cassava and the dumplings. So it's really up to you how you like to eat it. So I hope you enjoyed the video and that it was really helpful. Remember that this was my first time making stewed beef, so if you have any tips or suggestions, leave them in the comment box below. And if you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, feel free to subscribe and hit the bell next to the subscribe button, just so you'll be notified of all the new videos that I post. Until next time, bye!